Welcome back to Arsenal Updates, the channel where we cover everything red and white, from the Emirates to the biggest stages in world football. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and drop a comment down below telling us where you're watching the final from. Now, let's get into it. Saturday, May 30th, 2026. Budapest, Hungary. The Puskás Arena. 67,000 seats. One trophy. And 20 years of waiting finally coming to a head. Arsenal Football Club are in a Champions League final. Say it again. Let it sink in. Arsenal, the same Arsenal who have gone 2 full decades carrying the wound of Paris, 2006, are 90 minutes away from becoming champions of Europe. And standing between them and immortality are the reigning holders, Paris Saint-Germain. This is not just a football match. This is a defining moment in the history of a football club. This is the night that could rewrite everything, the legacy, the identity, the standard, and set Arsenal up for a generation of dominance unlike anything the Emirates has ever seen. Today on Arsenal Updates, we are breaking down everything. The journey, the legends, the stakes, the fears, and the belief. Because this, ladies and gentlemen, is the biggest week in Arsenal's history since Invincible season, and we are not going to take a single second of it for granted. The journey to Budapest. Let's start from the beginning, because Arsenal's run to this final has been nothing short of extraordinary. Mikel Arteta's side went through the entire Champions League group stage and knockout rounds unbeaten. Not just unbeaten, dominant, organised, relentless. A team that looked like they belonged among Europe's elite from the very first match day. They eliminated Atletico Madrid in the semi-finals, a side renowned for their defensive resilience and big game experience, and they did it with the kind of maturity and composure that you would expect from a team that had been building toward this moment for years. Arsenal entered Budapest with the strongest defensive record in the competition. William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes at the heart of the backline, a partnership that has quietly become one of the finest centre-back duos in Europe. David Raya behind them, equalling a club record of 19 Premier League clean sheets across the season. Declan Rice in front of them, controlling tempo, breaking up play, and dictating the rhythm of matches from the base of midfield. And then there is Bukayo Saka, Eberechi Eze, Victor Gyökeres, who delivered 14 Premier League goals in his debut season in North London. A team with quality, depth, and most importantly, belief. But the Champions League run alone does not tell the full story of why this final matters so much. The Premier League title, the foundation of everything. Just 1 week before the final in Budapest, Arsenal were crowned Premier League champions for the first time in 22 years. 22 years. The last time Arsenal lifted the league title was the Invincible season, 2003 to 2004. Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira, Robert Pires, Dennis Bergkamp. An era that is spoken about in football with reverence. A season that has never been matched, before or since. 38 games. Unbeaten. Untouchable. Arteta's Arsenal ending that drought. Winning the league after over 2 decades of near misses, heartbreak and second-place finishes was already the story of the season. But now, with the Premier League trophy sitting at the Emirates, the team has flipped the switch entirely. The pressure of the title race is gone. The mental weight that hung over this squad through so many tense spring months lifted. Arsenal travel to Budapest not as a team desperate to prove themselves. They travel as champions, already winners, already historic. And now the Champions League is the only piece missing. Wenger speaks, and his words carry weight. No conversation about Arsenal in a Champions League final is complete without Arsene Wenger. The legendary Frenchman, who now serves as FIFA's head of global development, was in the dugout the last time Arsenal stood on this stage. May 17th, 2006. The Stade de France in Paris. Arsenal against Barcelona. A night that began with so much hope and ended in devastating heartbreak when the Gunners, who had been reduced to 10 men after Jens Lehmann's red card, were overturned by a Barca side featuring Ronaldinho, Samuel Eto'o, and Andrés Iniesta. Arsenal were 13 minutes from winning it, 13 minutes from glory, and then it slipped away. For 20 years Wenger has carried that night, And now, speaking ahead of this final, his words were filled with the desire to see what he could not finish finally completed. "I want this trophy to go to the Emirates because it's missing there," he said. And then he added something that will resonate with every Arsenal supporter. "We touched it before. We were 13 minutes away from winning it. So you want it to happen this time." Wenger did not hedge. He did not offer cautious analysis, he went further, saying that if he had to bet, he would bet on Arsenal over Paris Saint-Germain. He spoke about the club deserving it, about the consistency of this team deserving it, about the time having come for Arsenal to take their place among the giants of European football, and crucially, he offered tactical clarity about what Arsenal must do to win. He pointed to their defensive strength as the defining weapon. Get the clean sheet, stay organised, let the occasion not overwhelm them, and when the moment comes, be ruthless. "Once you are 1-0 up," Wenger said, "everything starts to play to your strengths when you are strong defensively. Arsenal can always be dangerous." Those are the words of a man who understands this club at its deepest level, and they should give every Arsenal supporter tremendous confidence going into Saturday. The Invincibles, the Unforgettables, and the Number Ones. Martin Keown was part of the Invincibles. He lifted the Premier League trophy in 2004, played alongside Henry and Bergkamp, and has watched Arsenal from closer than almost anyone. And when he was asked whether this current squad could surpass that legendary side in the club's history, his answer was electric. "They'll be winners, that's what they will be. And that will do for me," Keown said. "And they'll be the first ever winners of the Champions League. So for me, they're the number ones." Think about what that means. A man who was part of the Invincibles, arguably the greatest achievement in Arsenal's history, is saying that winning this trophy would put Arteta's squad above even that era. Not the Unforgettables, as Thierry Henry himself said they would become. Not even the Invincibles. The number ones. And Keown was honest about why. Arsenal's European record has always been the caveat. The asterisk next to all the domestic glory. The Cup Winners' Cup that slipped away. The UEFA Cup final loss to Galatasaray on penalties. The 2006 Champions League final. So close, so many times, but never the ultimate prize. The club needs to now do something major in Europe, Keown said. And he's right. Because this, right now, is the opportunity to do exactly that. Thierry Henry himself spoke before the final, saying this Arsenal squad would go down as the Unforgettables if they beat PSG. Henry was the captain in Paris when Arsenal lost 20 years ago. He knows what this means. He knows the weight of European football for this club. And now Arteta's squad has the chance to give the answer that Henry's generation couldn't. The answer that Wenger's sides never found, and stamp their names into history forever. The opposition. PSG are no ordinary challenge. Let's not pretend this is straightforward, because it isn't. Paris Saint-Germain are the reigning Champions League holders. Last season they beat Inter Milan 5-0 in the final. 5-0. A statement of intent so emphatic that it shocked European football into a kind of reverence for what Luis Enrique had built. And they are back here again, bidding to become the first back-to-back European champions since Real Madrid. PSG's route to Budapest was formidable. They beat Bayern Munich in a thrilling semi-final, 6-5 on aggregate, with Ivica Kvaratskhelia opening the scoring at the Allianz Arena inside 3 minutes before Harry Kane pulled one back deep into injury time. That result told you everything you need to know about PSG. Resilient, clinical, built for the biggest moments. And Kvaratskhelia, the Georgian winger who has become one of the most feared players in world football, is the man Arsenal must find an answer for in Budapest. 10 goals and 6 assists in the Champions League alone this season. A player who combines raw pace with devastating skill and a hunger for the big occasion. Wenger himself acknowledged it. Paris Saint-Germain have huge attacking potential, he said, but Arsenal also have individual quality and are very strong on set pieces, which can have a huge influence in a final. There is also history between these two clubs that adds a layer of psychological weight to the occasion. Last season, PSG knocked Arsenal out of the Champions League in the semi-finals, winning 3-1 on aggregate and going on to claim the title. Arsenal know what PSG are capable of. They've felt it. And that experience, painful as it was, has informed how Arteta and his coaching staff have approached this campaign. Jurrien Timber. The wild card that could change everything. One of the most fascinating subplots heading into the final is the fitness of Jurrien Timber. The Dutch right-back has been out for more than 2 months after picking up a groin injury in the dramatic win over Everton in March. He returned to training and gave Arsenal fans hope last week when he said he was targeting a return for the final. And Keown, who you would expect to be conservative about a player returning from that kind of absence, was surprisingly enthusiastic. He is maybe the one player in the world of football who could handle Kvaratskhelia, Keown said. That is quite a statement. And it speaks to just how unique Timber's defensive profile is. The mobility, the aggression, the ability to read the game and make contact challenges that most right-backs simply cannot make. Whoever starts at right-back for Arsenal will be handed one of the most demanding assignments in world football, and if Timber is available, Arteta will be sorely tempted. The decision on Timber's fitness is one of the defining team news stories of the week, and it will have a direct impact on Arsenal's ability to contain PSG's most dangerous weapon. The mental reset, from champions to challengers. After winning the Premier League, Arsenal were given time off to celebrate. The scenes at Selhurst Park when the trophy was lifted, the party afterward, the recognition of what had been achieved domestically. This squad earned every second of it. But Keown was direct about the challenge of transitioning mentally from champions to challengers in the space of a few days. I hope there's enough gap between that celebration, which turns you into a different animal. You've got to get angry again. Get angry to win. The players returned to training on Tuesday. They flew to Budapest on Thursday. And between the champagne and the Puskás Arena, they have had to flip a mental switch that very few squads in football history have ever been asked to flip. Wenger spoke to this too, warning that in a final, more than any other game, the danger is being overwhelmed by the occasion, being impressed by the moment rather than playing within it. The most important thing is that your team is not inhibited or impressed by the occasion and continues to focus on what it does well, he said. That is the challenge for Mikel Arteta. He is a coach who has shown an extraordinary ability to manage his squad's psychology throughout a season that could have broken lesser teams. The title race against Manchester City, the pressure of Champions League knockout football, the expectation of an entire fan base. He has navigated all of it, and now comes the final test. What a win would mean. Let's talk about what winning on Saturday actually means. For the club, for the city, for the fans, and for football. Arsenal have never won the Champions League. In 67 years of European competition, the trophy has never come to North London. The Emirates has seen incredible nights under the floodlights, incredible runs through knockout rounds, incredible individual performances, but never the ultimate prize. If Arsenal lift the trophy in Budapest, they become the 25th club to win the Champions League. They become the second new winners in back-to-back seasons, following PSG's triumph last year, and they complete what would be one of the most remarkable domestic and European doubles in English football history, Premier League champions and Champions League winners in the same season. The trophy parade that Arsenal have already announced, with over 500,000 fans expected to line the streets of North London, some reports suggesting as many as 1 million, would become something the city has never seen. The celebration would be unprecedented. But beyond the party, beyond the confetti and the open-top buses, the win would mean something deeper. It would confirm that Arsenal are no longer building towards something. They have arrived. They are there. A genuine force in world football, capable of competing and winning at the highest level, year after year. Wenger captured it best. I think Arsenal have slowly built a history that now allows them to win it. I also feel the time has come for Arsenal to dominate the Premier League consistently. The sky, as Martin Keown said, is the limit, the verdict. So where does this leave us heading into Saturday evening? Arsenal go into this final with the wind at their backs and the weight of history on their shoulders. They are unbeaten in this season's Champions League. They have the best defensive record in the competition. They have a forward line capable of hurting anyone. They have a manager who has proven time and time again that he knows how to prepare his team for the biggest moments. And they have something that PSG, for all their talent, for all their trophies, cannot manufacture. They have 20 years of hunger, 20 years of waiting, 20 years of being told that European football at the highest level was beyond them. On Saturday, Arsenal get to answer that. Arsene Wenger believes they will. Martin Keown believes they will. Thierry Henry believes they will. The players clearly believe they will. And from Arsenal updates, so do we. Get ready, Gunners. Budapest is calling. That is going to do it for today's video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. It means everything to this channel. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share this video with every Arsenal fan you know, and drop your prediction in the comments below. Are Arsenal lifting the Champions League on Saturday? Let us know. We will see you on the other side with the biggest reaction video this channel has ever made. Come on, you Gunners.